Hey, Shalom Masha, I want to start as always by giving all praise to Yahweh Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Rakak, Dash, double honors to the apostles of GMS, and honors to brothers doing the work in truth, while sincerity. This one is on Nero's torches. This is inspired. I was listening to the video that Elder Apostle Ramlab did with some of the Arkim. I'm not too sure which camp they're from, what state they're from. Obviously GMS. But one of the brothers mentioned Nero's candles and Nero's torches, and I'd never come across that before, right? So I'll just read into it real quick. It says Nero's torches, Polish. So this is the name of a painting depicting what was going on, right? It says Nero's torches, right? Polish Pokadne Nerona is an 1876 painting by the Polish artist Henryk Siemrad, that name. It's also known as that. It depicts a group of early Christian martyrs who are about to be burned alive as the alleged perpetrators of the Great Fire of Rome during the reign of Emperor Nero in 64 AD. People from many different social spheres, including the emperor himself, are present to watch the burning, which takes place in front of the Domus Aurea. The motif is based on a description by something, or rather, and you look at the painting, the picture, whatever, what have you, right? And you see it up top here. Look, man, when you see pictures like this, man, you gotta debate Jake up there, man. Now, in fact, I noticed there's some Jake women, over there. I don't know if they're women or men. Actually, no, it must be men. Carrying. In fact, the Jake's carrying. Nero looks like carrying Nero's. I forgot what that's called. This thing here that he's sitting on, right? But you gotta put your faces up on that, man. They were doing that to Jake, right? They were burning Jake, they were scourging Jake, they were doing all manner of cruel things to Jake. And the thing is, this is gonna happen again, right? This is gonna happen again. They're gonna try to come down on the Akim, right? But that's why the Lord's gonna set a standard this time. As the apostles say, not everyone, only a number are gonna have to go through, gonna have to be put to death, right? But here he says martyrs, man, right? This is also some information. Persecution of Christians in the Roman Empire. It says persecution of Christians in the Roman Empire occurred intermittently over a period of over 2 centuries between the Great Fire of Rome in 64 AD under Nero, right, that devil, and the Edict of Milan in 313 AD, in which Roman emperors Constantine the Great and Licinius legalized the Christian religion. Right, now Constantine, what he pushed out, that was just, that was just a, that pagan shit that you have today, right? Because he was just mixing in, paganism into the scriptures, right? But basically, these devils, man, they came down on Jake. Constantine was Jake, not referencing Constantine. But before that, right, these devils were putting hell on Jake, man. Right, but nowadays you got Jake wanna be all, friends and happy with these devils, but fuck them, man. Right, they gonna pay for this. Right, this is Hebrews 11:36. It says, and others had trial, and you read through this whole scripture, right? It's basically showing how different things have happened, accounting different stories, right? In in the scriptural history, right? But yeah, I'll start from 36. Says, and others had trial of cruel mockings and scourging. Yeah, they were whipped, right? They were it says they were beat, man, right? It says, yea, moreover, of bonds and imprisonment. So they were cast into prison, right? Locked up, right? It says they were stoned, right? So stoned to death. They were sawn asunder, right? And in extra biblical history, right? So history outside of the scriptures, right? It is said that this was Isaiah the prophet, right? I forgot which king, but he was put in the middle of a tree trunk, right? And basically the tree was sawn with Isaiah in the middle of it, right? That you said, like I said, that's in the extra biblical history, right? So it says they were sawn asunder, were tempted, were slain with the sword, and hey, it says they wandered about in sheepskins and goatskins, right? So they were lowly, right? Being destitute, afflicted, tormented. Man, that was Roman, those Nero's candles, man. Right? You see how they were done, right? That was torment, man. Right? That was torment. And those were one of the things that we're doing to our people back then. Right, but it's okay because the Lord's going, the Lord's going to balance the books, right? You know, Esau loves his business, and one of the things in business you got to do is you got to balance the books. Well, hey, the Lord's going, there's the master of business, man. Right, he going to balance them books for you good. He's the master accountant, right? In fact, that's a video on its own, right? It's Jeremiah 17:4 says, and now even thyself shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. Right, you know, and that's happened to Jake. You know, the point I want is later on, but that happened to Jake. Right? It says, discontinue from thine heritage. Right, most Israelites don't know they're Israelites. Only a select number. You get some that'll be like, yeah, you know, that Israelite thing, innit? Right? They'll be like, yeah, they know they're Israelite, but they don't understand what that means. Right, they don't understand the great honor, right, that being an Israelite really gives them, right? Because they're not just, they're not just any other human being. They're special, right? You know, they can do great things. They can achieve great things. It's just in this world, we under the curses, right? They're not just a nigger, right? You know, they were the great kings of old. Right, they were King David and his mighty men. They were, you know, they were the Lord, whom the world calls Jesus Christ. You know, the Lord looked like them, right? Not just, you know, niggas in mud huts, Africans, right? It says, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not, right? And you know, after, you know, the persecution of say 70 AD, you know, Jake fled all over into the west coast of Africa. And then what happened after that, right? When Jake was all in the west coast of Africa, Esau came again, right? Albeit a couple hundred years later, the Esau came again, and he took them from the west coast, right? And he took them into into the Americas, right? Even the fact that we were under Roman persecution, the Romans came down on us, right? On our people. Scriptures talk in the curses, Deuteronomy the 28th chapter says, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, right, shall come up and basically take you down, right? And that, you know, that happened, you know, with the Romans and with the and then with these devils that took, you know, our people over into the land of the Americas, right? It says, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. Right, so ultimately, this is why this happened, right? You know, yes, you know, it's fucked it happened, right? And the Lord's going to judge the people who did it, right? But you know, it happened because we fucked up. But the beautiful thing is, we are the apple of the Lord's eye, pursuant to that Zechariah, right? We're the apple of the Lord's eye. And hey, let me grab this real quick. This is Isaiah 14, right from the top. For the Lord Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob, right, and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined unto with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Right, so Lord ultimately will have mercy on Jacob, and that's where we're lucky. But these heathens, on the other hand, oh, they're fucked. Oh, they are fucked, right? Because they ain't got that kind of mercy, right? But in fact, the only mercy they have is that their punishment's only going to be 1,000 years, right? And yeah, it's a long 1,000 years, but hey, you know, the Lord ultimately is merciful, right? This is Revelation 18:6. It reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled to her double. And that cup is slavery, right? That's what, you know, that's going to be rewarded unto, first and foremost, Esau, right? But ultimately, all these heathen nations, the Lord's going to give us the power to exact judgment upon them, right? It says reward even, and that says double. That's not a literal double, Right, we gonna be critical. Don't forget, when these guys are in captivity, we gonna be a souped up spiritual power. When there are certain wicked things that these devils did to us, whether it's Esau, when you read Psalms the 83rd chapter, right, it says, all these nations have been confederate. Right, so whether it's Esau that did it, or whether it's these Ishmaelites, these Elamites, these Moabites, these Ammonites, whatever these heathen nations are, right? We gon' sorry, what was I saying? Yeah, they did some wicked shit to us, man. But we can't do some of this stuff like Esau did butt breaking. We ain't gonna be doing that shit, right? Esau would sleep with our women while we were in the same bed. We ain't gonna be doing that. But you know what? The Lord's gonna give us that power where we can deal with him in ways beyond his imagination, beyond our current imagination, right? The Lord said he's gonna put his anger on us, right? But yeah, I believe that's all I had. But yeah, that was just a quick one on Nero's candle.